It's been a real epic battle, this one, and it's still going strong with Marco Fu now in front at 12 frames to 11. The first time he's led since 8-7 yesterday when his tip came off and he had to take time out to get it replaced or re-glued. As far as we're aware, it's the same tip. It doesn't seem to have been causing him any grief today, although it has been a tough session for the better part of it. But Fu has found some fluency in the last couple of frames and now leads Mark Selby 12-11. This the final frame of this session then. Selby desperate to draw level, which he will feel is the absolute minimum from this session. Much the stronger player before the interval, but just hasn't got anything to show for it. And that was a long way off.
Yes, and he's left it to the middle to make things worse.
I think the frame that really hurt Selby, Joe, was the 20th when he was clearing up for a 3-frame lead. In fact, it was the 19th frame, wasn't it? And he didn't get position on the final blue, ended up losing it on the black.
Yes, and he was nicely on the brown as well, but didn't get onto the blue, made contact with the blue, and finished up losing the frame, as you're saying. And yeah, it was a biggie, because he did win the next frame after that.
Yes, it might have been 11-8 in the event. Fu closing to 10-9 and then 10-all, of course, and now 12-11 in front and the chance of a lead. Well, what a result that would be after his start to the morning.
A 2-frame lead. Overdone it. Misjudged the kiss. And this isn't the shot that Marco Fu is likely to take on. Tough black, spreading the reds all over the place. I'd expect him to play the safety.
Marco Fu, 7.
If Marco Fu loses this frame and Selby can level, it'll be a best of 9 for a place in the world final.
Gonna go again? Yeah.
Well, we're going to re-rack the balls. That was a very swift decision, but everyone in agreement. And Mark Selby, I think, will be a little relieved because he missed that opening red, didn't he, by quite a margin. He left it for Fu, who potted it. And had he got better position, who knows? He could have made another big break. As it is, we're going to try again. Still looks pretty calm, but I think he will be feeling as though this is a session that could have been a lot better for him. And should have been. But that's history now. It's all about staying in the moment. He's got a job to do here. He's got to try and level this semi-final. Fu will have other ideas.
Well, not for the first time today. He's left this long red on to the right corner. And the players practice these shots, so I'd expect him to get very close or pot it.
It's harder though, isn't it, when you've been frozen out for more than half an hour. Selby hasn't potted a ball in the last 2 frames. Missed the long one before the re-rack. Missed another one there by quite a distance.
He's pushed another one out, Marco. Now, did that little kiss save him?
I think it may have done, judging by the look on Mark Selby's face out of camera shot. He was very lucky there, was Fu. That was a significantly easier red that Selby would have had he not been obscured by the yellow than the one he just missed.
Yes, and in a little trouble here because he doesn't want to leave that red on if he plays a safety shot back down to baulk. Lots of side on the cue ball. Oh, he's covered it with the pink anyway.
Still to come this afternoon, of course, in just over an hour's time, the final session of Ding and McManus. Ding leading 14-10.
Well, a big target here, the green and brown. Chance to open the reds up. Get the cue ball in behind the brown. Looking good. Good safety.
Foul. And a miss.
Very close.
Mark Selby 4.
Back it goes.
He's very good at that shot. Only just missed it the first time round. He judged it to perfection.
And it's certainly got the reds opened up.
But again, a chance to get in behind the brown. Natural shot to get in there. Oh, caught it much too
Foul.
thin.
And a miss. Marco Fu, 4.
It looked a natural quarter ball shot, just to send a cue ball back down the table, in behind the brown, but for some reason played it extra thin.
So thin, in fact, that he didn't hit it at all.
I wonder if he'll play the same shot, because the quarter ball shot looks to me to get in behind the brown.
Certainly doesn't want to miss it again with the spectre of the forfeit.
Well, that's more like it. This time caught it a little too thick, although a couple of good kisses. Oh, this time he catches it a little thick, and he's left a red to the right corner. Very difficult to get out onto a colour. Well, after that little look from the cameraman, he hasn't left the red. So just the attempted safety again, in behind the brown. He needs a bit of help. He got it. He raises his hands.
A long time since Mark Selby enjoyed the feeling of a ball disappearing in the pocket in his favour. Such an important frame for him. He's going to be right under the cosh when they resume this evening if he's 2 frames adrift. Having led by 2 at 10-8. That's the frustration for him. He had the chance to take a grip on this match and it's rather slipped away. Yeah, that's the kind of pot that Selby would make 9 times out of 10, but when you've been struggling in the last couple of frames in the way he has to get to the table, it's that much more difficult.
Yes, absolutely. Wasn't an easy pot by any means, but one you expected him to get, maybe. But played it in such a way that he hasn't left anything easy, Marco Fu, and had it gone in, every chance of winning the frame. This looks pretty good. And now it's Selby's turn to be in a spot of bother.
This frame is nearly 11 minutes old and still all 15 reds available. Well,
Foul.
it's such a tough shot, isn't it, to play?
Go for 4.
To get that cue ball in the right position on the cushion to play the 2-cushion escape. When you've got to swerve around the brown for starters, it's very difficult. Mark Selby to try again then. This is a fiendishly difficult shot he's attempting. And he's played that exceptionally well. Great shot, Mark Selby.
Yes, it's finished up nice as well, hasn't it? And now it's Marco Fu in a bit of bother.
$12 points, all in fouls. No reds down.
Well, they're off and running, and he hasn't got away with it. Red to the middle. Well, black and pink tied up for the moment.
It was a great escape. Steve McQueen would have been proud of from Mark Selby just now when he was snookered. Marco Fu makes the error from that shot. Chance for Selby.
Was he a snooker player then, Steve McQueen?
He was pretty handy on a motorbike, if memory serves me correctly.
And prison camps.
Selby's first red for the best part of 40 minutes. But he wants a lot more than that from this visit to the table.
Well, as I said earlier, Phil, it's not easy this yet. He's only got the blue.
6.
The black would be available to the middle if he took this red to the middle pocket. Cleared the way for the black going in the opposite middle.
Seven.
National Cough Day, is it?
Selby breaks the tension with a joke, but it's vital that he maintains his focus here. This is a very important visit to the table for him in what has otherwise been a hard morning for the Jester. When he took the first 2 frames of the day,
12.
he would have fancied himself for a sizable lead at the end of the session. Now he has to win this one to avoid losing it.
$13. $18.
Well, it's very rare that Selby shows such frustration when he's at the table, but I think that just sums up his mindset right now. He's overscrewed that by quite a distance. Exasperation mounting. And not for the first time. The balls are very awkward at the moment.
Disappointed with that one as well. In fact, the green looked easier.
21.
Didn't need the rest.
No laughing matter for the Jester right now.
Maybe try and get in behind the green or the brown.
Mark Selby, 21.
A hard fought 21.
If Selby can win this frame, he can forget about this session and put all of his energies into the deciding session this evening from 7 o'clock UK time, 8 o'clock Central European time. Marco Fu, meanwhile, determined to prevent that happening.
Another good chance here to get the cue ball in behind the green. Very nearly got the pot. Is it too thick?
Well, we've had big bounces and kicks galore during this World Championship, but I can promise you there isn't a slant on the table to go with it. It's just the way the Reds have fallen.
Caught it too thick again. But again, no damage done. Well, hasn't finished up too badly. Played the double. Was the only red he could leave.
It's been a long one, that's for sure. And this might just be the longest frame yet. Still 11 reds on the table.
He had the path. He had the path. It was just short of pace. Nevertheless, it's still a good safety. He may have to take this red on into this right corner pocket. Well, is it straight? If it's straight, it's a difficult pot to get to a colour. Good pot, because it was nearly straight.
Much tougher than it looked. Excellent cueing from Selby.
One.
But a lot of work to do to manufacture a sizable break.
Four.
Yes, even now, the next colour's going to be very difficult. The red's easy enough.
Five.
Couldn't get the right side of the blue. Well, he certainly gave that some, didn't he? But he needs to keep running.
10.
And building a nice lead, especially where the ball's at.
I reckon Selby enjoyed that shot, Joe. Release a bit of
Yeah.
exasperation.
Well, does the pink go? It didn't look like it from our camera angle, but it might just go into that corner. Oh wow, it's tight, isn't it? Just one half of the pocket. It would be a feat to get it back onto its spot though. Certainly help him to win the frame at this visit. But he would like to have been straighter on the pink instead of firing into half a pocket blind. There it is, look. It will go, but it's very tight.
Could easily catch the red, couldn't it? Has to be ultra accurate here, Selby. I'm not sure he fancies it.
No, I wanted to be straight on it, so he was right behind the shot. It's either that or the brown. What's the brown like?
Arguably easier.
Yeah, I've said so.
Definitely wants to be removing the rests before he plays it.
No, he's going for the pink. Yes, there was only a little bit of a pocket there. And that was an excellent shot. Excellent shot.
Any wider, and it would have stayed up.
Any thinner,
70.
and it would have hit the red.
Oh, but the red stays out.
Well, Selby 17.
He's missed some reds to middles today, hasn't he?
Well, that is not going to improve Mark Selby's mood. He seemed to have done the hard work there. This game can be tortuous at times when it's not running for you.
Well, I think it's worthwhile trying to play this at pace, trying to open the reds, come off the black cushion, go into those 4 reds surrounding the black. He should be on the red to the right corner if he's not on anything else. Well, that's what he played, but he got the kiss on the red and he's out of position.
So Mark Selby leads by 28, but there's a long way to travel in this frame yet, which is already nearly half an hour old. The next session, the final session between Ding Junhui and Alan McManus, is due to get underway in 40 minutes' time.
Marco Fu 6.
Fu actually outscoring Selby, but I guess that's reflected in the frame score, leading by 1. Will he be leading by 2 when this session is finally over? That's a very good pot from Mark Selby, but not the kiss he wanted.
No, that's a little unfortunate. But Maybe time to put a colour safe. Extra insurance.
Mark Selby 1.
Opts instead for the snooker. Still 75 on the table. 29 Fu's deficit.
Well, very nearly came past that red, and he would have left the red onto the right corner. Well, can you be tempted? And the answer's no. But he's going to move something here. Well, that's certainly upset things. He's left a red onto this left corner. And this is a great chance. In one shot, the frame has become winnable.
Selby has dictated this frame from the get-go, but has that one shot handed all the initiative back to his opponent.
One good pot here, and it could be Marco Fu taking a 2-frame lead into tonight's final session. It's all on Marco Fu now.
.28 points behind, with a colour to follow, and 67 remaining thereafter.
Six. Seven.
Just in no man's land. Not nice on the black, pink or blue. The blue looks easier for position.
After much deliberation, Fu pots the black. Nothing to do with the cue ball. What a frame this would be for him to win. What a session it would be for him to win. I'm sure Mark Selby won't be able to make much sense of it if he emerges from this third session having lost it 5-3. But right now, it's beginning to look that way.
$20. $21. $28.
It could come down to yellow to green. The red on that right side cushion not in the best place. Oh, and he's played a terrible shot there.
29.
He can't get to the red. Well, he can get to the red, but he'd have to play a fantastic pink.
A nail biter in more ways than one right now. Mark Selby with renewed hope that he's going to get back to the table. Scores level, 35 left. And the longest frame of this session, and we've had a few.
Well, I said he could get to the red. He'd have to screw to the left side cushion and right back across the table again to get onto that red. That's what he tried to do. Oh, and got very close to the pink.
29.
He got on the red, but he didn't time it well. It's like he threw his cue at it.
If you need to go, you need to go. Yeah.
And it looks like a toilet break.
So Mark Selby breaks the tension by leaving the auditorium. Nature's call. Marco Fu taking on a very difficult positional shot here, powering the pink in to right centre in an attempt to get that cue ball back across the table for the final red. No great surprise that it stayed out, and he very nearly fluked it, and I reckon Mark Selby might have snapped his cue in half if that had dropped in. As it is, he's popped to the loo. Asked permission of both Brendan Moore and his opponent before doing so. Marco, genial gentleman that he is, had no problem with that. And in fact, he's left as well, which makes perfect sense. So this very lengthy session is still underway, and it's still in the balance, this final frame. And what an important frame, Joe Johnson, because the difference between 12-all and 13-11, Mark Selby will certainly feel that he should have, at the very least, taken this session 5-3, having took the first two frames. Marco really struggling at that stage. Now he's got to win this frame just to share it at 4-all, and if he were to lose it 5-3, well, what a result that would be for the man from Hong Kong.
Yeah, well, it's down to Mark Selby now. He's got this red to the corner. It's not an easy red, and I suspect he'll try and screw back for the blue, and it's not easy to get from yellow to green. So it's not a gimme, this clearance. Marco Fu was going to have that problem. Yellow to green is not an easy shot. Well, Mark Selby could be practicing this red in the practice room for all we know.
Don't think that would be allowed. And Selby just holding up his hand as we see a replay here of the ambitious plant he took on to say sorry for breaking play. Well, once again, it's a pot that Selby would normally make, and the fact that he had to leave the arena for a few minutes won't have helped make it any easier. Break of concentration.
Yes, and he could have left this red on, couldn't he? And that's why I suggested playing for the blue, because chance of the red coming away from the pocket.
Strange, isn't it? Mark Selby's pot success quite a bit lower than his opponent now, and yet you feel as though he should probably be leading this match and not trailing it. The question is whether he can emerge from this very difficult session, granite-like match play and very little in the way of fluency, honours even. If Marco Fu can lead 13-11, what a chance he'll have on the resumption tonight. And in 25 minutes' time, we're scheduled to start the final session of our second semi-final between Ding and McManus.
Well, Marco Fu has no idea what to do with this red. He knows he isn't going to pot it, but he doesn't want to play safe off it.
So he did go for the pot with a bit of safety in mind, even on these tables which have played a little on the generous side in terms of the corner pockets. That was asking a lot at that pace. But it could have been worse.
It could have been a lot worse. Quite a few balls to get in behind here. Green, pink, brown. And the red could be close. Well, made sure of the red.
This frame now 42 minutes old, 35 left, scores level.
Well, that kiss on the green has made yellow to green a lot easier. So
And the red will pass the pink.
So it looks like red ball game.
Oh, he's missed it to the far jaw. That was very much on for Marco Fu.
And it's relatively safe. I won't say safe, but it's relatively safe. It's an easy safety. Guaranteed safety, good safety, with maybe getting the cue ball in behind the black.
That was a chance for a 13-11 lead.
He's pushed it on. Where's that cue ball going to finish? Where's that cue ball going to finish? Well, had it gone in, it would have been an easy red. As it is, this is a very tricky red to take on.
Extremely awkward queuing for Selby.
He just riddled in, but he's lost the cue ball. He's lost the cue ball. Well, it doesn't get any easier, does it?
Anywhere but there.
Just 1 point the difference. He could try and get the cue ball in behind the black from the yellow. But if he didn't get it, might leave himself in trouble next shot. He could touch the brown for the snooker, but easy enough to come off the baulk cushion and land up to the yellow.
This session started 5 hours ago, and it's still going. Beg your pardon, 4 hours ago. It's not that long. It's long, but it's not that long. But these are very vital moments in terms of what happens at the end of this match.
Well, you may put Marco Fu favourite for tonight's final session with a 2-frame lead, but all level, and you'd certainly put Mark Selby favourite. Well, he should be in trouble here, and he could play it numerous ways. I like the cue ball in behind the pink. Well, he's got it. Just, I think. If the cameraman comes round, yeah, he's got it. It's a swerve shot. Would have been a lot better had he not kissed the pink. So playing the 2-cushion escape. He's going to have to play it with a touch of check. Too much check. Free ball.
Foul.
Is it a free ball? Oh, it seemed to bounce off that
Selby.
baulk cushion.
Back it goes, though. Selby in charge now. As things stand, he'd need up and including the blue, Mark Selby.
Oh, has he potted it? A little harder maybe, but he's got it safe. That's the next best thing.
So Selby's lead 5 with the colours remaining. Good escape from Fu. What a battle of attrition this has been. Hard, granite-like match snooker.
Thanks.
Well, that's another very good safety shot from Marco Fu. Very difficult to get this safe. if he played cushion first and just clip the yellow thin and try and send the cue ball in behind the blue. But it's a tough shot. I can't think of much else that's not got risk attached to it.
This frame now in excess of 50 minutes in length.
That's good. That's a cracker. That's an excellent shot. And it's a good snooker.
Could it be a frame winner? Well thought out by the world #1 and former world champion. Shake of the head from Marco. He's got a bit of work to do here to extricate himself from this difficulty.
Yes, and a free ball if he misses it. If he plays this slow and misses it, he's going to get snookered again. If he plays it fast and misses it, it's the free ball. How's it going to drift? How's it going to... It's drifting over to the left. He's left the yellow on. Will he take it?
Mark Selby, 7. Free ball.
It's a free ball as well.
Selby has all sorts of options here, but none of them entirely appetizing.
I think if he can pot the yellow, he's got to play the yellow.
Missable though.
Yeah, but winnable. Nope, he's missed it.
Well, Fu will be mighty relieved, because when he hit the black, he might have feared the worst about the destination of this frame. As it is, on we go. What a session it's been.
Just got him. Just missed him.
One thing's for certain, the afternoon session is going to be delayed, due to start in just over 10 minutes' time. We have to get this Crucible crowd out and the afternoon crowd in. We have to do all of the introductions, and of course this frame is a long way from being over. And they're back this evening for more. Much more. Well, no surprise that the players are taking their time over their options now. They know the significance of this final frame of the session, especially so for Selby. He led 10-8. That feels like a long time ago now. Should really have led 11-8, and that was the turning point for him. Since then, very little has gone his way.
The wrong side of the black.
Well, I'm pretty sure this is already the longest frame of the tournament. Looks set to eclipse an hour in length.
Well, if you could catch this ultra thin, play the yellow onto the black, you could get the cue ball in behind the pink and brown, but it would have to be ultra thin. Could drop in behind the black. Not quite thin enough. Still distance between them, but had it been thinner, you could have got the snooker.
I reckon both players will be having a lie down when this session is finally over.
Me and you could go and join them, I think.
My thoughts exactly.
Foul. And this.
Well, that won't be going back.
Selby.
A lot more difficult from there.
Confirmation that Mark Selby would rather Marco played from this spot than the initial one. 16 points now the lead, and that's becoming significant now for Selby.
Yeah, but where the balls are, Philip, they're all there for the taking. Now, well, I think he can just drop in behind the green here.
The stubble on Selby's face perceptibly longer now than it was at the start of this session.
Well, if he can't drop in behind the green, which is what my initial thought was, it's difficult to find a good safety. And could be in great trouble now, Mark Selby. I'd be surprised if he didn't get the snooker here. Cue ball in behind the pink or brown. Doesn't want the yellow in. He doesn't want the yellow in. And he doesn't want him to see it direct. Now, can he see that? Don't think he can. It's worth taking the punt here at cushion first and potting it. Wasn't far away, doesn't want the kiss. Wow, had he got the kiss, could have pushed it on. He's delighted.
This frame now more than an hour long, and still 7 balls to be potted. Marco Fu says, do you want a re-rack? I don't think anyone wants that. I've got a feeling there's going to be quite a lengthy queue for the toilets when they finally shake hands here.
More than happy to start the semi-final again.
Well, that's not an option either, Mark.
Happy with that one too. And again, this needs some thinking about. This isn't easy.
I think we just had an insight there, didn't we, from Selby, who, as we know, likes to crack a joke about how he's been feeling throughout this match. It's been a very difficult occasion for him. Nothing's really fallen in the way he would like, and Marco Fu has battled away. They both have. But I don't think either of them will have enjoyed it all that much. Of course, whoever gets to 17 will enjoy it a great deal, but that's still a long way off.
Well, now he's pushed the green and blue safe. That favours Selby.
Who leads, remember, by 16 points, so needs up to and including the brown if he ever gets the chance to pop them. And it wasn't long ago, Joe, that this looked like a yellow ball game. Not anymore.
No, not anymore. In fact, whoever pots the yellow can't get the green at this moment in time. I wonder if he can try and get that cue ball in behind the brown or in behind the black. His main concern will be not leaving the yellow on, although if he did, it wouldn't be a disaster unless he left the cannon from yellow to green. If he tries to get in behind the black, there is a possibility that he will leave the yellow on. But as I say, it wouldn't be a disaster. And let's put the black on the cushion as well.
Yes, this will be some clearance. Another shake of the head just off camera there from Selby. He looks like a very frustrated man right now. And yet, you'd have to say, at the moment, he's the slight favourite to make it 12 all. Tonight is another session. It could be a completely different affair, full of free-flowing breaks. On the other hand, Marco Fu needs all of the colours to take that 13-11 lead.
Again, a chance to get in right behind the brown. And it could be decided on snookers this frame. Could lay a good snooker. Get a few points off of it. Just the yellow would be needed then. And this is a good chance for a snooker. Oh, well, would you believe it? He got a terrific snooker. Didn't want it. Didn't want the pot.
He must feel as though the gods are against him right now, Selby.
Absolutely, because now the game's open again. Had the yellow stayed out, Marco was in deep trouble.
I think the jester's sense of humour may have gone AWOL for the time being.
It's gone with the yellow. Down the hole.
Mark Selby 2.
67 minutes and counting then. Still 5 colours remaining. 18 points. Marco Fu's deficit. He's already run 1 frame on the black in this session. And it was a very important one because I think it changed the course of this session. Made it 10-9 when Selby had been favourite to make it 11-8.
Well, look where the green's finished. And look where the pink's finished.
Well, that's unbelievable. And again, a shake of the head from Selby. Don't think it's quite a snooker, but it's difficult.
Yeah. And if he plays in behind it, every chance of pushing it over one of the corner pockets. And now the pink is in open play, which makes it easier to get to the black, where it was before. It was dead on the cushion. Oh, he's happy with that one. That was well worked out. Well, can he see enough of the green? And even if he can see enough of it to pot it, unless he drops it in absolutely dead weight, there's no way to get to the brown. could just play the green to the ball cushion, bring the cue ball back down the table, but not too hard. Got to go past the middle pocket or not reach it. That's okay. I tell you, there's been some terrific safety play with these two. It really has been a fantastic frame of snooker for the connoisseurs, this one. Neither player given an inch. Putting each other in trouble and somehow playing out of it. And there's a well-judged double kiss down to the black end of the table. But there should be the full 12 foot between the balls this time round. Green behind the brown spot, white behind the black spot. Yeah, excellent safety, and it's well appreciated by this crowd.
Well, we're getting into Dennis Taylor, Steve Davis territory here, and the final frame in the black ball final in '85. This frame now 72.5 minutes old. If it eclipses 75 minutes, it's the longest in Crucible history.
I think we're going to get there. Did they have snooker in 1985?
Apparently. I know you think the game started the year you won it, Joe, but...
Couldn't get the cue ball in behind the pink, but made absolutely certain of the green. The blue, he's given him some problems. Normally he'd send the green around the cushions, around the table. But the blue giving him a bit of a problem. He's played it well though.
Well, it has been a marathon frame, and it's very nearly a record-breaking one here at the Crucible, just a few seconds away, but we have seen some fantastic tactical play on these colours.
You and I are going to make history, Philip.
We're not going to make lunch, however.
Or are we? Or are we? The green is on, but the brown, so tough. And he needs the brown.
18 points in front. Green and brown. What a moment for Selby. Can he knock this in and get position?
Well, that could have cost him the frame. Because this brown is tough.
Wild applause for one pot.
That poor shot by Marco Fu could have won him this frame. Then again, it could have cost him it. Great pot on the ground.
Well, it's been a monumentally long session of snooker, and oftentimes desperately frustrating for the man at the table.
12.
As he checks his watch. Yeah, you'll be back very shortly, Mark, for the final session. What an extraordinary 8 frames they were, and in the end, and I guess this is justice, it's honours even. It's as you were, from 8-all to 12-all. All to play for tonight, the first to 17 to go into the World Snooker Final.